We've been seeing some interesting back and forth on medical marijuana and on the drug war in general from the Obama administration. And now, sadly, the latest casualty of the drug war may be none other than Willie Nelson himself, facing drug charges in Texas. Originally caught with 6 ounces of marijuana, somehow taken down to 3 ounces, so it wouldn't be the distribution or higher level felony charge. He had a plea deal set up so that he could plead guilty and pay a fine as long as he stopped by the courthouse to pay a fine, because apparently the prosecutor is a fan. Turns out the judge is a fan too and is refusing this plea by mail kind of deal that he had set up so that maybe the judge can talk to him in person. But as sad as it may be that Willie Nelson may be going to jail for marijuana charges, what we're seeing nationally regarding medical marijuana dispensaries from the Obama administration is much more worrisome. Now, back in 2009, there was the Ogden memo that came out of the Justice Department saying we are going to deprioritize going after medical marijuana dispensaries operating within the legal statutes afforded within their states. We're going to respect the Constitution. We're going to respect the 10th Amendment. We're going to respect states' rights. And there was an explosion then, especially in Colorado and in California, some in Montana, in my home state of New Mexico, of legal, sort of, medical marijuana dispensaries. Well, now there's another memo, the Cole memo, saying that the drug war needs to continue, that we need to keep prosecuting people operating medical marijuana dispensaries. So joining me now, I have a very special guest from an undisclosed location in Colorado. He's going to go by Ben X for today. And as we've been in conversations with him throughout the day about the implications of this new Cole memo on medical marijuana dispensaries throughout the country, but particularly in Colorado, we have verified that not only is he a co-owner of a medical marijuana dispensary in Colorado, but a good one that's got, it seems like, a lot of variety, some very high upscale products, and I'm very glad to see that the free market that at least we've seen to a small degree open up around medical marijuana is thriving, but now under threat. Ben X from Colorado, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for having me on your show.
And I just want to emphasize for the viewers that you are appearing with your location undisclosed, and we are withholding your last name because there is a threat that just by doing what you are doing as a co-owner of this shop in Colorado, in full accordance with Colorado laws, that there's a chance that this will be used against you by federal prosecutors now coming after dispensaries. How is that working in Colorado? How are businesses reacting to the Cole memo?
Well, they're acting very negatively, very apprehensively, I would say. I think the feel in the community now is, in the medical marijuana community, is to rally our own individual communities and to reassure and to have that issue there on the forefront of our communities that we're not drug cartels. My family has been in the neighborhood that we've lived in for over 50 years, and I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and my family decided to go into this business. We're well known in our neighborhood, and we're not cartels holding AK-47s. We're here to supply a need or a holistic alternative to any health issue or health problem any patient has with us that has a bona fide doctor referral that's within state laws and regulations.
Now, how long have you been in business, approximately?
We've been in business now for a year.
Okay, and that's the same for most dispensaries in Colorado, right? Most of them are very new.
Yes, and the specific thing in Colorado is that we are a for-profit state. We are the only state in the union that has a constitutional amendment regulating, specifically guided towards medical marijuana and giving safe access to patients here in this state. So a lot of states around the union are looking at Colorado and looking at Colorado's state legislature for guidance on how they should approach legalization in their states.
And so how is this crackdown coming? I mean, this is sort of something that you've been dancing with since it's been legal, because at any time a federal prosecutor, despite the Ogden memo, can say, let's go after those guys. We haven't made our quota this month, whatever. They've pissed me off. They've done something wrong. They looked at me funny. We're going to exercise our own subjective discretion here. But now with the Cole memo, it seems like these raids are going to happen a lot more frequently. What does it look like? What is the federal process for shutting down a dispensary?
Well, the federal process, I hope I never find out what that process is. But
maybe calling it a process is giving them too much of a compliment in their organizational capabilities.
Yes, most definitely. There is a lot of bureaucracy in our government, and I doubt their organization is anything near ours. But I really think that how they're going after it, it's so different from the 2009 Ogden memo, as you were referring to, from not putting any resources, Department of Justice resources, into states that have or allow medical marijuana in their states, to all of a sudden saying, you know what, we're going to come and harass and intimidate you, whether or not having a total disregard for states' rights and state laws. Specifically in Colorado, it's amended to our Constitution. Amendment 20 protects Colorado patients here. And I think that's an arrogant move on behalf of the Department of Justice and the Obama administration to stand up against the states and the states' citizens and say, we don't care. And I think that that's very arrogant and a slap in the face to our state legislature as well. So my question is where is the state legislature going to help us?
Right, and standing up to the federal government. But exactly. With the system of money, the way it flows from the states to the feds and back to state governments, it's really unlikely. Now, you're being pretty modest here, saying that you're facing intimidation. Really, what you're facing is violent raids, confiscation of property, and being kidnapped and put in a cage for doing something entirely legal, not only under the U.S. Constitution, but under state law. And for that, I thank you for keeping up the good work. And Ben X from Colorado, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate it.